Welcome to the John Doe Radio Show. Today, a wonderful day in the Mile High. It is a Thursday, January 19th. Thank you very much for hanging out with us. Let me get this potted down here and some good times rolled up here. Still a little bit getting used to the system here. The brand newness of this brand new awesome studio, courtesy of the good people, Mile High Wellness, the good people at Edson Maiden and Mats. We rock it every day, Monday through Friday, John Doe Radio Show, 11 o'clock till whenever the hell we decide to go. Trying to hit for that 2-hour mark, but there's business points that we got to get to before we hit that 2-hour mark. We'll be able to bring that to you very, very soon, I hope. Today, in just a few, gonna call up the lovely Chloe Villano herself from CloverLeaf Business Solutions, yourmmjinfo.com. and chat with her about some business stuff that is happening around and whatever else she would like to talk with. Really, if a woman as awesome, as beautiful, smart as Chloe would like to talk, you probably should just sit there and let her talk. Right? No, I don't know. Am I digging myself a hole there with that one? Probably. Kim looked up and was like, what the hell are you talking about? Other than that, we got news today on the John Doe Radio Show. Going to be talking a lot about news. Also, we will get with news tomorrow with Steve Elliott and talk more from his view and angle of things that have been going on. And hopefully, eventually, I can get Warren Edson in here at some point in time to talk about a little bit more the situation that's going on here in Colorado. Not any changes as far as I know so far with anything no new letters have been sent out, as far as I know. So when I walked into Warren's office yesterday, I don't think he was here yet today. So we'll find out that. Right? So, all right. And I have really not a whole lot sitting here in front of me that I thought I was going to have sitting in front of me. That's quite all right. We can pull this up real quick. Make sure, please, 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 do me a huge favor, guys. Every single one of you listening, I need you to do me just this absolutely huge, massive favor. All the sponsors that we have on the John Doe Radio Show, man, I need you to go to them and I need you to thank them. I need you to show them that the John Doe Radio Show has got this voice and it's got a message to send, and that we're able to sell their product. So people like Rare Dankness Seeds, RareDankness.com, 970-812-DANK if you would like to have seeds put in your dispensary here in Colorado. 970-812-DANK is that hotline. You can also go to RareDankness.com. Good people like CPM, Compassionate Pain Management in Lakewood and Louisville. People who care about your pain management not only carry the good bud, but also carry good practices like massage therapy, acupuncture, Reiki practice, pain management care plans, along with that good cannabis. Make sure you check them out. CPM in Louisville, 303-665-5596, 303-665-5596, or in Lakewood, 303-232-3620, Lakewood, 303-232-3620, southwest corner of West Dillon and McCaslin. Wait. Start over there. 1585 Quail Street in Lakewood, number 13B. 1585 Quail Street, number 13B in Lakewood. And in Louisville, 1116-7 West Dillon Road, southwest corner of West Dillon and McCaslin. So the good people like that, you know, good people like the Cherry Company, the Pearl Company, Teapot Lounge, you know, Platte Valley. Make sure you tell these guys when you go in to get your meds, when you go in, take care of your business, as the John Doe Radio Show is the ones who sent you, or even on Facebook, or if we post up stuff, man, click that like button. Get that JDR Army in effect, because seriously, man, I would like to continue to bring you this quality programming that we bring you here. I say that with a giggle because I know where we could be going. I also know that we're one of the best, man. I have no doubt about it when it comes to even anything in radio, anything in podcasting, anybody out there. We're one of the best in what we do. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Maybe a few nice butts, but that's okay. I'm kidding. Goofy, crazy mood today. It's all right, though. Also, huge thanks to everybody here at the show that makes it happen, including you, the listeners. I thank you guys more than anybody, because without you, we would have nothing. Also, big thanks to Phil and Kim for making this show happen. Those guys rock. Gonna call Chloe here and say what up here. Loud ass phone.
The person you have called is unavailable right now.
What the hell? Make sure I got the right number here. Maybe we'll call her on Skype. No. Hold on here. Let me check this number. That's why I need a producer here on my left. All right. Let's see. That would be why. Because I dialed the wrong number. My bad, Chloe. Let's try and rock with this one. This one tells me I'm actually calling her, so. We may have hit gold with this one.
Hi, you've reached Chloe Villano.
Oh, man, we didn't hit gold with this one. Phil, what the hell is going on right now? Look it over at Phil. Like it's his fault. Too bad it's not still 11:11. Because we could be hitting it. Hit it anyway. That's what I got to say. Later on in our news, and after we throw to some commercials and still try and get a hold of Chloe, we're going to talk about a lawmaker that's going to smoke a joint in Parliament tomorrow. California Supreme Court to review controversial medical marijuana cases. 2/3 of Canadians favor legalization or decriminalization. Talked about that a lot lately here before we got into a lot of the more interviews and more daily stuff, and when we were doing news a lot. Get back into that. And 2 marijuana bills slated for the California legislature. Your support is needed. Hopefully we'll get to that. And like I said, that lawmaker who smokes the doobie in Parliament. Let's try one more time to get Chloe here, and then if we don't get her, we might just call it.
This is Chloe.
Hey, what's up, Chloe? You're live on John Doe Radio.
Hi, Tim. How are you today?
I'm doing good today, actually. I feel really good.
Good.
Yeah, how are you doing?
Me too. I'm feeling great, man.
That is fantastic.
Working away. Sorry I can't be there in the studio. You know I always love that, and such a nice place.
That's all right. That's all right. It's okay. We can get you on the phone. Anything for a lady such as yourself. I went off at the beginning of how, if someone as smart and beautiful, talented as yourself would like to sit down and talk, then you just sit down and let her talk wherever, however,
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Those are good times. And Chloe Villano here on the show with us from CloverLeaf Business Solutions. You can check her out at yourmmjinfo.com, and she could take care of basically anything when it comes down to medical marijuana business, not only here in Colorado, but if you have questions outside of the state.
Most definitely. We do consulting nationwide. We do mergers and acquisitions. We help people, get into the business, get out of the business, sell, merge. We help with local and state compliance. We offer staffing services, trim crews, and, also resources and referrals for, expanding and building your business. And we do marketing and advertising as well, help people get patients, things like that.
Nice. That's awesome.
We call it the one-stop shop. So.
The one-stop shop, yourmmjinfo.com. That's awesome. Good times. So what's going on in the business world of medical marijuana?
It's in turmoil right now, to be honest with you, Tim. And the reason is this week or today, it's a roller coaster. It's in such infancy that it's almost bipolar in regards of how people are reacting and how the laws change. And, the feds have said they don't want any dispensaries that are located within 1,000 feet of a school or a daycare. See, the key word there is and the daycare. To be operating after they receive a letter of 45 days, they either have to move or they have to shut down, or they could face criminal prosecution.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's really frustrating because, I mean, you and I, we've been in this business forever. I mean, I remember years ago driving around, even as just looking as a caregiver when they wanted us to be 1,000 feet from a school.
Forever is years ago.
I don't know if there's over 100 locations left in Denver.
No, I don't. Honestly, I don't even think there was anything really available in Denver for people to get licensed at. Man, I thought everything had been pretty much, taken up, and then with the moratorium in place, people can't get out anyway. And
it's so funny, Jim, because some people that, like, I remember in the beginning, people would say, "Oh, Boulder's the place to be because everybody's real free-spirited and they've been smoking years." But you know what? Boulder turned out to be locally one of the biggest, trials and tribulations.
Pain in the asses.
In a local municipality. And now Denver just started handing out licenses, and everyone in Denver felt so secure 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And now, I would say maybe the majority of the dispensaries in Denver are going to receive this letter.
Yeah, shaking in their boots, man. And that's what even Warren had said to us. I mean, if the first round that went out was basically those people that had been grandfathered in, inside those areas that were, had been open before a certain date, and they were allowed to stay open. And the feds, obviously have a problem with that. And that was the first round that they're going after. And the second round could be these, as the crow flies, measurements in what we've done here in Colorado, in what we've done here in Colorado is how you walk there. It's not how the crow flies, and straight to, distance-wise is what I'm talking about from the daycare to the dispensary. So that could be really, really big. And then if you look downtown, and from what, just what Warren has said and looking at the map and stuff, I mean, it's like it's just boom right there in the middle of downtown. I mean, everything nuked, because there's just so much stuff around, especially if they want to get into, like talking about like parks and even going into that far. I mean, that is what Californians had to deal with for a minute, and it's ridiculous, like you can't.
It's so funny too, because I called a very dear friend of mine that works, down there this morning to see if there was an obtainable list where we can get these dispensaries notified as soon as possible. Yeah. And maybe if we could get, updated copies of the maps, find out locations that are available. And I've been working diligently. I've talked with over 50 brokers this morning. And I'll be honest with you, this person told me, he said, I do not want to be the messenger of death. Yeah. I've seen these people come in. I've seen them sit here through all of this,
Yeah.
And it sucks because really it was just now like every time you go to take a breath, it's something changes.
Yeah.
And I understand that process, but, it's scary.
Yeah. Now, for a business owner, I definitely feel that scariness. And then it's not only for a business owner, scary to get into this business in the first place and to put everything that you have on the line, as a new business in a new industry, but then to have just that threat of legal trouble come over your head, that threat of just somebody coming in and just ridiculously taking everything from you. I mean, it's one thing to also have them come in and smash and grab and then not charge anybody and just act like thugs. And who knows what kind of action we'll see here in Colorado, and if, they'll go the distance with these letters and actually, try and evict these people, or if it's just a warning shot or what. I mean, they've gone about it in so many different ways, and we can just look to California at the examples of, the different ways that this is played out. And then in Montana here recently, it's scary as a business owner. As you said, you're 100% correct, because that threat of just legal action. I mean, most of these people don't have none of these people have felonies really that own a business. They probably not have been in too much legal trouble in the past. So,
even the people who had felonies. I mean, for instance, look at Greenway. I mean, Greenway didn't have drug felonies. Like, according to the state law, they would have been able to operate in a dispensary.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're targeting medical marijuana in general and the businesses, and I think it's really tough because you never know when it's going to be you. That's why it's really important that everybody kind of stands together and fights together, because if it was you, you're going to want somebody to speak for you as well,
Yeah, exactly. I hear that. And it's going to come down time to it. I mean, it's already come down time for a few spots here in the United States, specifically here in Colorado. It's going to come down time for us to, respond with the huge, massive voice and to push back and, really punch back is what it takes, with this DEA and with the power that we have here in Colorado and that we've built with our legislature and our lawmakers and our people. So, I mean, it's important that we recognize our state rights. We really fight for the change. My change, why I voted Obama in was, partly to have these kind of state rights, to be able to make these decisions, and then the feds be able to see, oh, hey, marijuana's not this bad in Colorado and California. Everybody, they've done it, so why not federally pick up this law? That's how everything was supposed to work, but it doesn't work that way because we have too many people that are trying to take too many damn responsibilities and too many jobs away from everyone else. So I don't know. We'll get there soon enough, and with the help of people like yourself sewing all of this together, Chloe, it's beautiful.
It is. And, I think that the people who are in the industry understand the change in the industry. And, I mean, it can happen at any minute. And, I mean, just like in San Diego now, they're saying all the dispensaries need to close down, which I guess is a common occurrence. The governor there just keeps, sending out these cease and desist. And, but it's crazy because we're trying to stop the war on drugs here, yet they're sending more patients out onto the street, who are going to end up facing prosecution, or something, or could be doing something illegal because they're trying to obtain medication. And it's just, what really makes me sick about the whole thing is that through all of this, it's just gotten so greedy. No one's really thinking about what's best for these patients.
Yeah, and especially a few instances, where like now it's become a situation with like, oh, we gotta legalize, and then in some instances it's almost like, forget about the patients, we got to legalize, and I mean, it's not like that with everybody, but, with some people, I have heard that sentiment. And one of the things you mentioned there, I know you got to go here real quick, one of the things you mentioned a second ago, man, to do business and to have had to go through the things that people have had to go through in San Diego is just amazing. I mean, having to deal with the DA there, Bonnie Dumanis, and all the bullshit that she's pulled, and the just underhanded buys and bust and then going to court and having those being dismissed. I mean, it's just insane. San Diego was one of the most surprising places where medical marijuana was kind of fought against so heavily. And it's the fact that it's still happening. We thought for a minute there that San Diego, once they started issuing licenses and giving people cards and stuff, that maybe things would be okay. But with all this gusto of, the DEA and the feds throwing around these letters and coming in and raiding, I mean, it also gives the locals that really want to shove this system down a lot of, cojones. And then that's San Diego jumped up to the plate and is now trying to shut down everybody. I mean, making a huge attempt to shut down everybody. And that's not the American way, man. It's not the American way.
No. And, in House Bill 1284, we said that the state promised, I mean, they wrote it in the law, that they would talk to the feds, that they would try to get marijuana rescheduled, that they would, they would basically handle and at least identify, and start the process of handling this problem of the classification of marijuana. And, it's crazy how politics works. And if you really understand it from a political view and how things and laws are implemented and changes created, it's frustrating because we have so many different processes. So, where we're frustrated because this is happening, I mean, even still, they have to acknowledge that, they don't have months, they don't have years. This industry moves in dog years, and it's rapidly moving, and it's something that needs to be addressed now. We're giving them plenty of money to handle what they need to handle, and, we need to have some sort of security for these patients and these dispensary owners.
Yep.
Because it's even scary being a patient. I know some people are saying, well, can I even get insurance? I have a debilitating condition things like that. And I know Colorado has the youngest percentage, they say, of debilitating conditions. But that just goes to show, I mean, I know so many young people who are just so sick. You know, my 16-year-old brother died of cancer. It doesn't matter what age you are. I think, you know, the worse our food, the worse just the air, everything is. People are getting sick and chronic pains at a very young age. You know, accidents, snowboard accidents, all kinds of things. So, you know, the more we can just take people. And I think pharmaceutical companies are scared, too, because, you know, you never hear, they enforce DUIs, but yet there's a liquor store on every corner. But you never hear anything about, 20 million people died last year in car accidents caused by oxycodone. You know, and the pharmaceutical companies would never let that type of information get out. So, you know, if they're going to do these THC, DUI bills and things like that, they really need to identify all pharmaceuticals.
Yeah. I mean, there's studies out there that show, you know, Colorado is one of the worst states for pharmaceutical abuse. I mean, I think it is the worst state for farm abuse.
Well, I would say Florida's way worse. I mean, I think
we were fourth.
In Florida, they just have pain clinics, and they'll just give you could just walk into a pain clinic and show them your medical records. And even, you know, unfortunately, yes, you have medical records proving you have this type of pain, but they will give you extremely intense heroin-based pills, you know, and once you get addicted to those, they're very hard to get off of, you know?
Opiates.
And I understand some people still have to take them, but, you know, it's just difficult sometimes, and people want the freedom of not having that if they don't want to.
Yeah.
And patients should be able to choose how they medicate.
Yeah, I think it's interesting on how cannabis affects everybody. I mean, we talked about it the other day. I mean, sometimes with my neuropathic pain, migraines that I have, it doesn't affect it as much as I would like it to. But maybe if you've got some sort of muscular pain, some sort of joint pain, arthritis, something like that, it could be really a miracle drug for you and help you cut back, you know. Some cases, you know, like Kim says, 90% on your pain meds. I mean, Derek Cummings, who I wish we could have as a co-host on the show. You know, hopefully someday maybe we'll get him back every day here on the John Doe Radio Show. But, you know, like the stuff he's been through and, you know, using medical marijuana for his pain and his management. This shiz is no joke, people. I mean, this is something that's for real. It's not just a bunch of people trying to get high out here, man. So please tell the stories that you have of how medical marijuana helps you, how it affects you, maybe how your business is affected by, you know, the medical marijuana business. I mean, the good stories need to come out. It's time for you to stand up and get your voice out and quit this just silent, complacent bullshit that we got going on, man. Stand up. It's time to stand up. All right.
You know, and I'll tell you what, I had a lady call me who was one of my mom's best friends. We knew her from church when I was little. And she said, you know, Chloe, I couldn't help but see your Facebook. And, you know, I get really bad menstrual cramps, like during that time.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that edibles really help me. And I've prayed about it, you know, because it's all about your beliefs. And she says, I feel okay with it. And I just don't know where to start.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that is a beautiful thing. I mean, when people are realizing that, you know, God is for this, not against this.
Yeah.
You know, God is for you helping yourself. And, you know, it's truly awesome to see just the mentality that's changing in people, because I know out here, you know, they're really starting to recognize it.
Yeah. I mean, if that's what you believe, God put all plants here for man's use. I mean, I'm not too familiar with the Bible verses of where they include, you know, the good herb and stuff, but I know that one of them is.
You think that somebody, you know, like my mother, for instance, is very, you know, she has a very strong faith, and, you know, she doesn't agree with it, you know, not at all. And that's something that we argue about. But, you know, I was shocked to hear this lady who I know is just always goes to church every single week, you know, saying, no, this is the answer for me.
Yeah.
And when, you know, so you've got to open your minds and open your heart in a lot of different ways, because it's not like it used to be. You know, people get sick younger now, and we're dealing with different types of illnesses, like terminal illnesses, like especially pain.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
And migraines, things like that are hell to live with on a daily basis. And if we just keep letting the industry go and shut down one by one, then, there's not going to be access to medication for these patients. The whole industry as a whole needs to stick together.
Yeah. And the home grower is a whole nother thing, too, that just is becoming less and less of it's becoming more of a ghost town type issue. So, I mean, it sucks that we don't have any more home growers. And here in Colorado, we have to deal with the situation we dealt with where basically the private caregiver system was almost decimated. I mean, pretty much decimated, by the rules. So we got to deal with what we got to deal with, but we hold our heads up high knowing that we've come this far and other states need to go ahead and follow us and or legalize, put something up on your ballot, get this snowball rolling. It's only starts with you. Period. End of story. You got to do something. Oh,
exactly. And, another thing we should address, Tim, is the new internet bill coming out. I mean, freedom of speech is, I would like to hear Rob Corey's opinion on this. Rob Corey is one of the,
leading.
Basically, he's an attorney here who, stands for First Amendment rights.
Yeah.
And he even sued his own college, Stanford, while he was still in college because they were telling him what he couldn't say, and won.
Yeah.
And I wonder what he would think about this. I mean, for them to say that of the internet, how are we supposed to get the message out there if they can do whatever, if they have complete control over it?
Yeah.
It's just, that's not the America that we want to live in and create for our children.
I know, it's crazy, is there? And then there's like YouTube is excluded from the bill, and as far as like replaying certain content and stuff, and it's like, okay, so why is YouTube excluded from the bill yet John Doe Radio isn't? Like if there's a news piece that say CBS or ABC News, like sometimes we'll sit here and yesterday, fired off a news piece from a local news and let them tell the story. And it gives it a little bit more, environment, gives it a little bit less of my voice. We could be shut down for that. The whole website could be shut down for that. Seriously, it's not even a matter of fairness. It's a matter of control and bullshit. I mean, if we're really trying to talk about freedom, the freedom to learn information and learn what is out there, and no matter what it is, that's true freedom. I mean, having a free mind to learn and regurgitate whatever it is that you have. I mean, that's ultimately what makes us free, and then the ability to defend that. Those are two of the most important things us as a country, I think, are based off of. So, man, and it gets a little bit scary. I think that yesterday did a good thing, though, with these bills being stalled, and President Obama definitely doesn't agree with either one of them. So that's a good thing. Hopefully, neither one of them will go through.
That worries me because I wonder what President Obama does agree with, though. I mean, he said he didn't care about the movement, and now he's letting these dispensaries get raided, and, he's justifying those actions, saying, he's very vague and on the fence about the issues that we're facing in our industry and banking issues and things like that. And, for somebody who's trying to build a lot of jobs in an economy, I'd like to see Obama really, come through on his original promise of what he said he would do.
Yeah.
And I hope that he really finds the answer, to this, because, I mean, I don't know how this upcoming election is going to go, but
yeah, I don't think there's going to be.
It is. It's going to create change.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be any answer to too much before this election. There'll be a lot of stuff happening, but I don't think Obama's going to come out and say anything else other than what he's already said. So we'll see what happens, though. So, man, we were supposed to have you only for like 10 minutes here, and we got you on for like 20, 25 minutes now. I feel special.
I know, that's what happened.
I feel smooth. No, I'm kidding.
You are, Tim. You're smooth.
Not really, but that's okay.
Well, I appreciate you having me on the show today.
Definitely. We always appreciate having you on the show every Thursday, and hopefully we can shift gears here and make this kind of one of your own things, and move it into something fantastic. I'm looking forward to some of the future and stuff that's going on. So, Chloe Villano from yourmmjinfo.com, CloverLeaf Business Solutions. Make sure you check her out. And if you have any type of questions, anything that you'd be interested in finding out in the medical marijuana business, please contact her, and she'll take care of you.
We also have a calendar of events on there. Tonight's the Medical Marijuana Business Alliance at Castleman's. And I think they will be addressing some of those issues. I will be there as well, answering questions, talking with people. So,
I wonder if Kim wants to go.
Huh?
I wonder if Kim would want to go. I kind of want to go to that. I really would like to start showing up more and more to these events that they've started here. This event has been going on for a while now, since basically the finalization of, well, I guess finalization, quote-unquote finalization of all the bills, 1284. And since they were all implemented, you've had these business meetings and stuff and discussing the rules and what's coming up. And I'd really like to start making it to these. Unfortunately, having no vehicle sometimes pins me to the ground. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I understand that.
But if I do, I will see you later, and I will give you a big hug. And thank you for coming on the show.
Okay, Tim, thanks for having me, and you have a wonderful day.
You have a fantastic day, too. If you need anything else this afternoon, give me a holler, too.
Okay, thank you very much. All
right, we'll see you, Chloe.
Okay, bye-bye.
Chloe Villano from CloverLeaf Business Solutions, yourmmjinfo.com. It's good times, right, on the John Doe Radio Show? That's what I thought. Big thanks to you for hanging out with us. Make sure you please do support our sponsors. Holler at them. Give them a shout, like a cut above. 1911 South Broadway in Denver. Do not miss these good guys. Debo, a good friend. New lower prices, $165 ounces. Go to these guys, tell them the John Doe Radio Show sent you. First-time patients receive member pricing and a free pre-roll. 15 strains at $25. Tons of edibles. Chiba Chews 2 for $15. Blue Kudu, Dr. J's, and more. Tons of glass, oil rigs, bubblers, spoons, etc. Very reasonable prices. A cut above in Denver, 1911 South Broadway. And if you do go to any of these places, like a cut above, a CPM, Mad Adder Smoke Shop, any of the Pink House spots, Platte Valley, Rare Dankness, make sure you holler at them. Tell the John Doe Radio Show sent you. I'm not even asking you. I'm begging you, please do this so that we can keep a successful awesomeness going on. Also, make sure you check out other great podcasts. Hey, Denton, what's the name of your podcast that you got going on? Drawing a blank for some reason on it. You got our good friend Denton Ramsey, who, if you've listened to the show here for a little while, who used to send us in some articles, opinions of pieces of his. He started up his own podcast. Maybe you can Google it. It's called Canna Truths. He's been trying to get me to mention that all week. It's not because I haven't wanted to, because, damn it, I got things lined up and focus becomes an issue. So, and also Grey Wolf on Stickam. Make sure you check out Grey Wolf's Wolf Den. He's always replaying the John Doe Radio Show. Always got our good people from when we first started up the live John Doe Radio Show on Stickam. He's always got good people hanging out there, and the good people with Normal Show Live hanging out over there too. So, all right. So I really appreciate you guys. And to get some commercials here, then we'll come back with some news. You heard, this is John Doe Radio Show. We do it live. If you missed anything, check us out, johndoeradio.com. You can also find us on iTunes and subscribe. Get it delivered straight to your electronic device immediately the second it's fired off. That sounds so old school in a way. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. There's something weird about that. Like, we've been saying that for too long. Like, you could have something delivered, there needs to be like a chip implanted in your head now where it just goes in and, No, I'm kidding. We don't need to egg on Big Brother more. Right? Phil? Yeah, I hear that. He says he hears that. I like putting people on the spot, especially my staff. We do it live in the John Doe Radio Show.
Produced over a mile above sea level. How much higher can you get, John Doe?
Under Pink House Blooms, you will find some of Colorado's most respected and popular cannabis centers, including the Cherry Company at 111 Madison Street, the Pearl Company at 1445 Pearl Street, and the Teapot Lounge at 2008 Federal. You have heard the amazing products available from Nika T and his solventless wax and hashes from his appearances on John Doe Radio, and now you get to know about the amazing ISO hash made by our good bud Stephen Lewis. This ISO wax cannot be beat, and I challenge you to find a better product. But not only are the products great, but just as I need in my personal caregiver, the service is friendly and personable too. Pink House Blooms and its stores are proud to carry essential extracts, rare dankness, and hoodlum and vector products. All stores are open from 10 to 7 every day, with daily specials like Tuesday, 2-for-1 joints, Warehouse Wednesdays, where they weigh all Pink House grown meds at 4-gram eighths all day long. Thursdays, buy one edible, get the other half off, and Sundays, let's just say they make it rain. And remember, industry employees get a discount at patient pricing. The Cherry Company on 111 Madison Street, 303-399-6337. The Pearl Company at 1445 South Pearl Street, 303-733-6337. And the Teapot Lounge at 2008 Federal, 303-656-9697. Pink House Blooms. Trouble with the law? Or maybe you're looking to start a medical marijuana business? The law firm of Edson, Mayton, and Matz can help. Attorneys Warren Edson, Lauren Mayton, and Chris Matz offer a wide range of criminal defense-related assistance and cannabiz legal services. Call the team of legal professionals ready to help you or your business out today. 303-831-8188. That's 303-831-8188. Or check out the website, warrenedson.com. That's warrenedson.com. Mad Hatter Smoke Shop has got your high-quality, American-made, unique pieces and some of the best scientific glass available anywhere. Artists and companies like Mike Fro, Cowboy, Zob, Royal, and D-Rock with some of the best products the Mile High State has to offer. Treehouse, Joel Halen, Worm, Tricky, and more. Mad Hatter Smoke Shop also carries Sheldon Black, one of the highest names in glass standards. Don't miss out on the Holy Water Style Collection either. Our friend John Waters offers his line of shirts, jackets, hats, and skateboards for men and women. Mad Hatter Smoke Shop for everything the JDR Army needs. Mention JDR or John Doe Radio and get 20% off. 20%! Visit MadHatterSmokeShop.com or email store@MadHatterSmokeShop.com for inquiries. Mad Hatter Smoke Shop, 6091 West Colfax Avenue in Denver, 303-953-7015. Store at MadHatterSmokeShop.com, 6091 West Colfax Avenue, Denver, Colorado, 303-953-7015. Platte Valley Medical Marijuana Center in Denver has some of the most affordable prices anywhere. Don't believe us? Call them. 303-953-0295. That's 303-953-0295. Or just head down and visit them. Trust us. Located at 2301 7th Street, Unit B, across from the Denver Aquarium. Great people who care about a fine selection of meds and a wide variety of extracts from top shelf extracts. With daily specials like Monday Madness with premium strain specific joints for only $1 when they're normally $3. Wax Wednesday with all wax for $15 a gram when normally $20 a gram. And during the NFL playoffs, Platte Valley is running a special on select ounces for just $125 and select $15 eighths, not bottom shelf strains either. You didn't miss what I just said. $125 ounces and $15 select eighths, not bottom shelf strains either. Don't miss one of the busiest and most convenient dispensary locations in Denver, Platte Valley Medical Marijuana Center, located at 2301 7th Street, Unit B, 303-953-0295. And until January 15th, everyone gets patient prices at $25 eighths and $150 ounces. Platte Valley Medical Marijuana Center.
John Doe Radio.
Chilling with us on the John Doe Radio Show. Thank you very much for hanging out with us live. JohnDoeRadio.com/live. If you missed anything, please do make sure you do head to JohnDoeRadio.com. We'll take care of you there. Take care of you all day, all night. Gonna take care of you, all right. That one actually came out pretty decent. I love myself sometimes. Maybe a little bit too much. Oh, where are we going? News today on the John Doe Radio Show. Sorry. Just feeling a little funky today. California Supreme Court issued an order Wednesday indicating it will review two controversial medical marijuana cases that have resulted in the suspension of several local dispensary ordinances across the state. As a result of Wednesday's order, PAC versus City of Long Beach and City of Riverside versus Inland Empire Patients Health and Wellness Center, Inc. have both been vacated in anticipation of the High Court ruling. The PAC decisions The PAC decision that... Why can't I read this damn sentence? The PAC decision held that some dispensary regulations may be preempted by federal law, and the Riverside decision that localities could legally ban distribution altogether. These cases were very problematic for patients and their ability to safely and legally access a medication that works for them, said Joe Elford, Chief Counsel of Americans for Safe Access, a medical marijuana advocacy group. Very pleased local government will now be unable to use appellate court decisions to deny patients access to medical marijuana in their own communities. Arguing that PAC was erroneously decided, ASA, along with American Civil Liberties Union, the Drug Policy Alliance, the County of Santa Cruz, all filed a brief on September 12th requesting that the California Supreme Court review the case. The medical marijuana community applauds the Supreme Court's decision to hear both cases, and hopefully this finally will give cities in California the right to regulate medical marijuana in their communities, since many cities have chosen to ban or refuse to regulate medical marijuana because it's federally illegal, said Cheryl Schumann with Kush Magazine. According to Bob Seelan, CEO of Kush Magazine, the California Supreme Court has recognized that states' rights issues are at the forefront of the safe access provisions that were inherent to Prop 15, voted in California law back in 1995. The laws, which were further codified in Senate Bill 420 in 2003 by the California legislature, have been the subject of several controversial lawsuits pitting the state's medical marijuana laws against federal cannabis prohibition. Although the PAC decision issued in October last year contradicted other appellate court rulings, several cities and counties across California have used it as a reason to suspend regulatory ordinances or completely ban local distribution. In its latest crackdown on medical marijuana in California, the U.S. Justice Department has even cited the PAC decision as a reason why localities should not adopt distribution licensing ordinances. One of those cases that contradicted PAC was the Riverside ruling issued in November, which held that medical marijuana distribution was not preempted by federal law, but cities could lawfully ban it. However, now that both decisions are out of play, local governments will now have less cover in which to implement or continue such bans. The PAC decision is a dead letter and can no longer be used to defy the implementation of state law, Elford said. It will likely be at least a couple years before the Supreme Court rules on the cases. In the meantime, advocates will be arguing their local governments to adopt regulatory ordinances that establish the means by which California's hundreds of thousands of patients can obtain medical marijuana that is legal under state law. A third medical marijuana dispensary case, People versus G3 Holistic, was also granted review by the Supreme Court this Wednesday. Looking very positive in there, though. I really hate right now in the headphones how it just sounds like everything is overbearing. I'm sorry, more inside baseball for you guys here, but seriously, I'm like, is it too, is the background music too high? I'm actually not that baked at all. You guys should let me know how it sounds. Since I seem to not be able to monitor it myself. That's what I wish I was doing right now, actually. Toking and smoking. Sounds hella loud in my ears. Denton's telling me. We're all good. Do-do-boo-doo-doo. Do-do-doo. Do-do-do. 2/3 of Canadians support legalization or decriminalization of marijuana, according to a new poll released Tuesday, with just 20% supporting leaving the pot laws as they are now. The poll by Toronto-based Forum Research Incorporated showed that British Columbia residents were most likely to support cannabis law reform, with 73% indicating laws should be changed, reports Ian Vendel at the National Post. Quebec has the lowest support, although even there, a sizable majority, 61%, supported legalization or decrim. The show of public support comes just after a new party policy approved by the Liberal Party of Canada's convention, pushing for legalization and regulation of marijuana. While it was the youth wing for the Liberal Party that originally put forward the motion, the new poll showed that baby boomers are the most supportive of reforming marijuana laws among all age groups. Poll respondents between 55 and 64 years old were most likely to support legalization or decriminalization, with 73% in favor. But support went across all age groups, with every demographic polling in the mid to high 60s in support of cannabis law reform. The public no longer favors devoting the time and resources required to restrict marijuana use and possession, while many feel the best strategy is to legalize and tax its sale, said Lauren Bosnoff, I think that's how you say his name, of Forum Research Incorporated. For a majority of Canadians, the war on this particular drug needs to end, he said. Of Liberal voting respondents, 64% supported cannabis law reform. Even conservative voters favored changing the marijuana laws, with 59% favoring reform. Green Party voters were most likely to support reform at 78%, with 71% of NDP voters supporting legalization or decrim. The poll was taken December 13th, 1,160 residents, 18 and older, margin error 2.9%. So quite some interesting, strong numbers there out of Canada. Good job to our Canadian friends up there for supporting this, and always been supportive of, I think, marijuana law reform. The Canadians have. It's just you've got this conservative system now in place. This conservative person shifted the marijuana laws back into a stupid, ridiculous focus from where they were before. Shamefully. All right, what's next here? Got a few more news stories here, and that's going to do it. Californians have a huge chance to make 2 strides for human rights in the coming weeks. By the way, all these stories are from tokeofthetown.com. We'll be talking with our good friend Steve Elliott from tokeofthetown.com tomorrow on the John Doe Radio Show. It'll be Friday. Can't believe it's already Friday. Well, I guess it's not already Friday. It's Thursday, but we'll be getting to Friday here in a minute. Speaking of getting to, man, it's like the day between 8 o'clock in the morning and 5 o'clock at night goes by really awesomely fast because we got this John Doe Radio Show going on. And you're like, oh no, he's going to get into his personal life again. Maybe a little. But then the time between like 8 o'clock at night and like 4, 5, 6, sometimes 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, God, it seems like 4 years goes by. I think back and I'll be like, trying to think of what I did yesterday, and my insomnia gets so ridiculously bad sometimes. I'll be like, trying to think back and I'll be like, oh, that was like days ago. And you're like, no, it's just yesterday. It was hours ago, homie. What the hell are you smoking? Actually really low on meds, unfortunately. Really low on Earl. Needs to go get some Earl. Right, Phil? Thumbs up, big time. Californians, legislature will be voting on 2 bills. Senate Bill 129 would grant employment rights to medical marijuana patients, and Assembly Bill 1017 would reduce penalties for marijuana cultivation. The legislature will be voting on the bills in the next 2 weeks between January 19th and 31st. Both bills fell short of passage last legislative session and are both in critical need of support from constituents in key districts. We are urging supporters in key districts to contact their legislature ASAP, said Ellen Comp, California Normal. In the state Senate, Mark Leno's medical marijuana employment rights bill, Senate Bill 129, needs support from conservatives and moderate Democrats, according to Comp. It's already supported by liberals. Many are unaware that the California Supreme Court has ruled that employees may fire anyone who fails a drug test, even legal medical marijuana patients. Sadly, many of them only find this out after they've lost their jobs. In recent weeks, we have heard from a manager and at an electronics store, a bottler at a beer factory, and others who have been unfairly deemed unfit for work because they use marijuana medicinally. I wonder what the bottler at the beer factory. That's a case. Bottler at a beer company. How's a beer company gonna fire you for marijuana use, dude? Are you serious? I would be livid, dude. I would flip the fuck out. That's got to be a case in itself, right there. Is all you have to do is sit down, go to court, sit down, and you need 2 facts. Well, you need more than that, I guess, to prove that you weren't all messed up during work and stuff. But once you just lay the number of deaths a year for alcohol abuse, number of deaths a year for marijuana abuse on the table, and be like, any questions? This is your brain on alcohol. This is your brain on marijuana. Any questions? It was funny, too, on how here last year, when I think it was Prop 19 had come out, and there was a couple groups that were supporting the Prop 19 issue. And damn it, I was thinking of you, Phil. I was thinking of something else, and then I just totally brain farted there. There was a group that brought forward a message. Damn it, I lost it. Son of a beach. Oh well, what you gonna do about it? We've had a pretty good roll of things today, and little stumbles and quite awesome rambling. Ultimately, I think it's insane that really we have to deal with this in the first place, where I'm going ultimately with the bottom line of this story and with everything. As you've heard before me say, I personally believe that, yes, a work environment, a job should be able to fire you for whatever reason. I mean, if it's because you smoke cigarettes, because you smoke weed, it's because you whatever. That's their... I mean, even if you're taking prescription painkillers, whatever it is, I personally feel in the American free system, American free market, you as a business owner, you should be able to hire and fire whoever it is choose. You shouldn't be able to hire and fire them because they're gay. You shouldn't be able to hire and fire them because they're black or white. Those basic rights. But then you say, what's the difference between? I mean, you put some of you would put medical marijuana up with those basic rights also. But it's not. I mean, it's not protected that you can take certain medications in certain jobs. I mean, you can't go and take a bunch of Vicodin, Percocet, morphine, opiates, whatever it is, and go out and work in a mine. I mean, it's against regulations. It's not something that you could do. It's not protected. Although I understand how you would want this medical marijuana situation, you would want us to be protected because there's been so many years of persecution, because there are so many people out there that would discriminate, that have got the wrong idea of what marijuana is in their head and what it does to the body. You want to protect these people, but we got to do it the right way and not take... Just because you feel someone's taking a right away from you doesn't mean you could take a right away from them, which is what I feel in my opinion this does in a way. It gives too much ability. It takes too much out of the hand of the employer. I'm sorry. The employer should be able to hire and fire whoever they want. But I also feel for y'all that need jobs, that are medical marijuana patients, that are going to have issues if this situation, isn't get protected. Here in Colorado, we don't have employment protection. You get fired for anything here in Colorado. It's the same way. I mean, and yes, people do have issues going out and getting jobs, and more are people drug tested. But really, I mean, it's two different fights. I don't want to mix the two together. I'd rather just get rid of drug testing altogether as it is. Anyway, so to get to the bottom of this, make sure we'll keep you updated on these. You can also contact your assembly members at California's normal site, which if you go to tokeofthetown.com, view this story, 2 marijuana bills in California legislature, your support needed. The website is on there, and you can get a hold of all that information for all the people that you need to contact in that article. Let me see where I'm at here. Delete. 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 All right, sorry about that. I had to take care of some production stuff. A Polish lawmaker plans to test his country's new marijuana decrim law by firing up a joint in parliament. Man, I can't even say this guy's name. MP Janis Palikot. I don't know. It seems like it would be easy to say, but God, why can't we call each other Dread Smokes Weed? You know? That's what it's eventually going to be. Everybody's going to be their avatars online. I can think of some funny avatars. Some funny names from my PlayStation friends list. Can't even say a few of them on the air. What the hell's wrong with you people? There are kids playing PlayStation. Oh, kid, I haven't played PlayStation in a minute, man. It's just been trying to get together, the business, and then when I do sit down at night and whatever, man, it's like, I don't know, man. I feel instead of the PlayStation and the gaming being sort of a positive thing, it's, I feel like I'm wasting time in a way. It's like only certain times I allow myself to like play the game because I just have this weird anxiety that comes up, and because all you damn people out there that are against gaming used to be one of my only awesome outlets. That and getting out and walking in the mountains, getting out and going for a long ass drive in the mountains, which was like drive 5 minutes and you're out of town completely in the middle of nowhere where I was up in northwest Colorado. But I have to get the gaming thing back here soon. Nice relaxation and good times. You bastards with all your crazy names. If you'd like to invite me to game with you when I do get on, and you do have a PlayStation 3, it's just John Doe Radio. Just John Doe Radio. And invite me on your list. This guy announced, the MP announced his plans to smoke the joint in Parliament Friday, tomorrow, as part of a campaign to legalize marijuana in Poland. The ultra-liberal Polakot's Movement Party will be using civil disobedience to test laws introduced in December that gave prosecutors a choice on whether to charge individuals who were found to be in possession of soft drugs, quote-unquote, for personal use. We want to invite representatives of the Free Hemp Society, a group we are on friendly terms with, to smoke a joint in this room to see whether the law that already decriminalized personal use really did do so, or whether there is a need for amendments that we are presenting on Friday. Palikot, who favors total legalizations, reportedly faces an uphill battle in his bid for more lenient cannabis laws. Prior to the October 9th general election, Prime Minister Donald Tusk said he opposed the legalization of soft drugs, quote-unquote. He ruled out any possibility coalition with the recently formed Polakot's Movement, which won a surprise 10% share of the vote in the election. So no coalition. No getting together and saying it's good times. What kind of crap is that? That's not fun. I think that's gonna do it for today. you all have a fantastic day. If there was anything else that I'm missing, let me know. Denton telling me I had a good show. Thank you, Denton. Make sure y'all check out Canna Truth's new podcast. Canna Truth's new podcast. Phil, what do you got stuff you got going on this afternoon? You busy? We can sit and talk. We need a session, man. I need a session. I can't hear what you're saying because these damn things are crazy. What's that? Hold on. Let me turn on this mic. Let me see if I can. You think you can handle something like that?
Yeah, I can handle that.
All right, that's cool. I mean, I'm not trying to twist your arm or anything, dude.
Not much twisting needed.
Yeah. So many people out there would like to come and smoke with us. So why don't you? It's not like there's a fence between here and Virginia or between here and Missouri or between here and Kansas. There may be soon. You may want to get here. Who knows what'll start happening, the craziness that'll go down in these United States in the next year. I highly suggest, though, you get settled for a minute. It could get a little funky and interesting here. I just thought came to my mind, but I'm not going to say it because I feel like I make myself vulnerable if I'm going to say this thought that comes to my mind, but we'll just leave it at that. I'm not even going to hint to it. But if you would like to come here to Colorado, just roll right over that border, man. There's a sign that says, "Welcome to Colorful Colorado." If you're coming up through Pueblo, I think that's the Colorful Colorado sign. Do they have one in out east when you're coming east? When you come through, Burlington, Flagler, Lyman, that area?
I don't know.
There's a welcome to Yeah, I think there is. There's a welcome to Colorful Colorado. I think every entrance has it. And then there's a dinosaur on the other side. Yes, you heard right. Dinosaur on our west coast, the farthest west city I think that there is here in the state of Colorado. It's called Dinosaur. And yes, there is a bunch of dinosaur tracks and museum out there, visitor center, fossils. You ever been out to Dinosaur? Been out that far?
No.
Nope. It's a crazy place out there. Wild, Wild West up in northwest Colorado, dude.
I can imagine.
They like to bust through people's doors for no reason. Lots of people everywhere like to do that, unfortunately. Some crazy chicos up in that area.
It's a good thing.
No, sometimes. Great dispensary up in that area. Make sure you holler at the Craig Apothecary. My good friend Sean Hadley and his awesome better half. And their little one. Taking care of business there in Craig. The only dispensary in that town. The only dispensary within 45-minute drive of itself. So they're holding it down up there. I cannot thank them enough for the awesomeness that they helped me out with when I was going through my probation and ridiculousness. So it always helps to have good people in your life, period, end of story. And if you're ever thinking that you're down and out and crappy and shiz is just not going your way, stop, take a look around you and see who it is that's weighting you down like a big fat-ass anchor. Sometimes you may need to dump that anchor and just let the chain fall into the sea. Say bye-bye. I'm trying to do a few of my things, but I understand it's hard. I understand that what you do every day on a daily basis, just getting up and going to work, fighting the system, living the American dream. I get that that's difficult. That's why we have the good cannabis to help us. Maybe a few prescription here and there. Not saying that you as a person don't ever have to go out and get a prescription drug, you know? Maybe you might need to take Ativan. Maybe you might need to take some Valium. Maybe you might need to take some antidepressant. Maybe it's something that you just might need to do. I encourage everybody right off the bat to try and figure anything out that you have going through your head first. But if there's a moment in time where you just get paralyzed and you feel like you held down and you can't get up, you might need something. If cannabis helps you do that, fantastic. Don't get addicted to them. Don't get stuck on them. It's a dangerous, dangerous game to play. And who knows how addiction could play out for the rest of your life. I know myself personally when I went through my whole thing, man. Klonopin got a hold of me immediately. I mean, the combination of between of just having stress and then you wanting to give up that stress onto something else and rely on that little, whatever the fark it was, yellow pill or whatever. I can't remember what color it was. Just be careful, but there is. I don't want to sit here and say that, you know, the pharmaceutical companies are completely horribly bad and fark them all and da-da-da. Penicillin. Other drugs we wouldn't be here with. I'm sure there's some people out there that have got some certain kind of pains in certain areas or rashes or something. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't cussing out the pharmaceutical companies then, are you? Luckily, I ain't ever had to deal with that. So that ain't something that no worry of mine. We keep it kosher up here at the John Doe Radio Show. Right, Phil?
Yup.
Holla. That's going to do it for today. Have yourself a fantastic day. I thank you guys very, very much. I'm not kidding when I say please, please help us support our sponsors and help us support the people that support the John Doe Radio Show. All right? I love having them on. And without saying anything else, just help us out. Help us keep this show going as it is. I don't have to move in. Not that there's anything wrong with moving back in with the parents, because everybody knows sometimes you gotta hit that reset button. But really, I wouldn't. I mean, me and my mom don't necessarily talk the greatest, so I'd hate to move back in with my parents. I'm kidding. Watch 2 months from now. I'm not kidding. Live from John Doe's parents' house in the basement. My mom's screaming, "Keep it down!" My brother and sister still live in my parents' house. My brother's like 20-something, and my sister's just getting out of college. I think going to be a psychologist or something. I don't know. There's a reason why I don't attach. My family is not. You can't go on my Facebook page and like view who my family is, because protect my damn sister. Because she puts pictures of herself shooting pool in stupid, funky ways with one leg up over the edge of the pool table, and this is how I normally shoot pool. And I'm like, facepalm, shake my head. What the hell are you doing? Come by and pick me up sometime so I can control your behavior. All right, have yourselves a fantastic day. Support everybody that supports the John Doe Radio Show, including yourselves. All right, pat yourselves on the back. Enjoy your bowl. Until we meet again tomorrow, Friday. I'm John Doe for Phil and Kim. Thank you guys very much. Very much. See ya. Wow, that was a fast pot up. And yeah, I did say pot up. Pot up.
The John Doe Radio Show is produced by The John Doe Radio Show programming is not limited to but includes information on agriculture subjects and is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. We specifically include responsible marijuana reform. Besides, listening to anyone but your mothers is like stupid. We accept no responsibility for your actions or misrepresentations, and we do not fully endorse the use of illegal drugs. You are ultimately responsible for yourself.
John Doe Radio.
Radio.